JBN, we keep you informed. Security guard beaten by student. A 62-year-old security guard who on Wednesday attempted to quell a fight between two female students at a learning institute in Montego Bay was severely beaten by one of them with a chair. The guard had to be treated at hospital for injuries to his face and hand. The police say the 18-year-old student, who hails from the Retrieve community in Cambridge, St. James, has since been charged with unlawful wounding and is to appear in court early this week. A source at the institution said that some of the students at the institution are very violent and have to be approached with caution. But upon the compound, I witnessed everything. I'm shocked to see the teenage girl beating the elderly man who could be her father or grandfather with a chair, the source said. It's a sad case over the fight between the two girls. The security guard did only try to part them, but he ended up nearly losing his eyes after the girl used the chair to lick him in the face, nearly lick him unconscious. Reports are that shortly after 2 p.m., an altercation started between the students allegedly over a male. A fight ensued and the security guard intervened. The student then turned on him, using a chair to inflict several injuries to his body. The incident was quelled by several of the administrative staff who called in the police. Another taxi operator killed in the Washington Boulevard area. A taxi operator was shot and killed by unknown assailants at the intersection of Duane Drive and Washington Boulevard in St. Andrew on Saturday, relatively close to where another cabbie was recently killed. Dead is 25-year-old O'Shane McLennan, otherwise called Landlord or Tyrick, of Majestic Gardens in St. Andrew. Reports are that about 1:10 p.m., McLennan parked his Nissan Sunny motor car on Washington Boulevard when it is alleged that men aboard motorbikes drove up and brandished handguns. Further reports are that McLennan ran onto Duane Drive but was chased and shot in the head on other sections of the upper body. The attackers subsequently made good their escape. The killing is said to have triggered some amount of tension in and around the area where it occurred, due to the recent stabbing death there involving another taxi driver. But since the incident, the police say they have stepped up their investigations into the matter and are also refuting any claim that the attack was linked to the recent killing of a Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC worker on Oxford Road in New Kingston. We have no information that there is any link and would want to say to persons out there who are seeking to spread rumors to desist from doing so and allow the police to do their work, said a senior police officer who asked not to be named. Sources are also claiming that the shooting of McLennan may be linked to an ongoing feud in sections of downtown Kingston. Senior cop gets bail on abduction and rape charges involving 16-year-old. A 33-year-old police sergeant, Christopher Bennett, was on Friday offered bail in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on rape and abduction charges. Allegations are that on June 17, 2019, the policeman who was then stationed at the Denham Town Police Station in West Kingston offered a 16-year-old girl a ride from the station and against her will took her to the Palisades Main Road in East Kingston where he sexually assaulted her. A report was later made to the police and after a probe, Bennett was arrested and charged. In applying for bail in court, his lawyer Peter Champagne urged the presiding judge to consider that Bennett, in a formal interview in June, denied the allegations and from then had been aware of the possibility that he would be charged, but made himself readily available to the authorities. Champagne, while being careful not to disclose the identity of the complainant, contended that the complainant had frequently been visiting the police station for no security-related purpose, which he cited especially in light of her age. The accused policeman was offered bail in the sum of $300,000. He is to return to court on November 29, 2019. 3 people arrested after police find gun in car. 3 people, including a female, were arrested on reasonable suspicion of illegal possession of firearm after a 9mm pistol along with a magazine containing 10 9mm rounds of ammunition was seized on Red Hills Drive in St. Andrew on Saturday, October 5. Reports from the Halfway Tree Police are that about 12:45 a.m., lawmen were on patrol in the area when they observed a Nissan motor car parked on the roadway. The vehicle, along with its occupants, were searched and the firearm and ammunition found under the front passenger seat of the vehicle. All 3 occupants of the vehicle were taken into custody in connection to the seizure. Their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. Portland man arrested after police seized ganja valued at $12 million. The Area 2 Narcotics Police Division is reporting the arrest of a man found with ganja worth approximately $12 million. Charge is 49-year-old Cranston White, a chef of Norwich District in Portland. According to the police, about 11:20 p.m., lawmen were on operation in the area when they signaled the driver of a Toyota minibus to stop. The driver complied and the vehicle was searched. 42 bags of compressed ganja, when approximately 2,500 pounds were found inside the vehicle. A court date will be announced at a later date, the police said. 23-year-old man held on 2 counts of shooting with intent. The St. Catherine North Police say they've arrested and charged the man in relation to a shooting incident that took place on Big Lane in McCookspen, St. Catherine on Thursday, May 30. He has been identified as 23-year-old Javari Lang, a farmer of Mason River, Clarendon and McCookspen. Reports from the Spanish Town Police are that about 11 a.m., 2 men were walking along the roadway when they were fired upon by Lang. The men managed to escape unharmed and an intense investigation was carried out. Lang was arrested and placed on an identification parade where he was positively identified and subsequently charged for 2 counts of shooting with intent. A court date will be announced at a later date, the police said. JUTC driver charged with murder in relation to taxi operator's death. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC bus driver, who was taken into custody in relation to the killing of a taxi operator in St. Andrew last month, has been charged with murder by the police. The accused, 37-year-old Ruel Clark, is to appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court later this week on a murder charge. He was charged on Friday. The taxi driver, 37-year-old Akina Britton, alias Bubinile, of Ambrook Lane in Kingston, succumbed to stab wounds he suffered during an altercation allegedly with Clark on Monday, September 23. The police reported that about 6:45 p.m., Britton was driving a Toyota Hiace motor car along the Washington Boulevard in St. Andrew when he allegedly got into an altercation with the driver of a JUTC bus. The situation reportedly escalated, and according to the police, a knife was brought into play and Britton was stabbed several times. He was assisted to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The JUTC bus driver subsequently turned himself in to the police. It was initially theorized that the shooting death of a JUTC employee later that Monday morning was an act of reprisal for Britton's killing, but investigators have since sought to dismiss those assertions. The deaths of the 2 drivers, however, triggered tensions between some taxi operators and some employees of the JUTC. The development led to drivers of the state-owned bus company withdrawing their services on Tuesday and Wednesday, September 24 and 25, resulting in major commuter challenges across the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region (KMTR) that includes sections of St. Catherine. Some taxi drivers on Duane Park to Halfway Tree route, on which Britain operated, also withdrew their services in protest at his death. Reid case won't be rushed, says DPP. Declaring that Jamaica is not a banana republic, Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Paula Llewellyn has said that allegations against booted Minister of Education Reid will be handled appropriately and that her office will not be rushed to suit public opinion. In July, Llewellyn provided the Financial Investigations Division, FID, with a detailed 13-page document, which includes a legal opinion, guidance and recommendations for investigators to use in their investigations against Reid. At the time, she said there were 4 possible criminal laws that may have been breached by the former education minister, alongside common law offences and possible administrative breaches. However, with concerns being raised about the length of time it is taking investigators to conclude their investigations, Llewellyn made it clear that there will be no shortcut in getting the matter through the system. "We in Jamaica were not a banana republic," Llewellyn said last week when she was quizzed about the status of the case against Reid, which includes allegations of corruption. On March 20, Prime Minister Andrew Holness asked for Reid's resignation after allegations surfaced of possible corruption at the Ministry of Education and several entities falling under his remit, including the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU. "It's only if you're in a banana republic that because you don't like a particular person, then you can just say, throw them into jail or behead them," said Llewellyn, in defense of the way the judicial system is handling the matter. "We are a country that is governed by the rule of law, and if we look at the material and the particular charges and ingredients have not been made out, it would be unethical to recommend a charge when the ingredients of the offense are not there. She added, "At my office, we have objective protocols and ethical protocols that we have to deal with, unlike other professions. And I'm not going to say journalism, but we can't run with it. You can only recommend the charging, and that is the deprivation of the liberty of the subject." The DPP concluded, "If when you look at the material that has been presented by the investigators, you'll see where the material covers ingredients of a chargeable offense, irrespective of how you feel about the person or who the person is, the particular standard remains the same." JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.